It's Kolkata versus Delhi in match number 42 of the Indian T20 League. A win for Delhi should all but ensure a place for them in the playoffs, while anything but a victory for Kolkata would deal a big blow to the chances of making it to the playoff round. You're watching Cricket Pundits. I'm Anubhav Jain, and I'm in the company of Mandira, Lalvani, and Ayaz Memon. Mandira, Ayaz, welcome to another preview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anubhav.
Ayaz, take it away with your thoughts as well as your player picks.
Well, I don't know how I can get Mishti Doi from you because they're looking so in such poor form. Kolkata.
I must say the Mishti Doi has turned sour just like Kolkata's recent performances have.
No, I mean, look, they've had a switch in captains. They've, they pulled off a super over heist, which was terrific. I thought that they would build from there. But in the next match, they go and, 84 for 8 in 20 overs is a very embarrassing. It is a very, very embarrassing performance. And frankly, ultimately a captain is as good as his team, as his players make him out to be. So, one could find fault with Dinesh Karthik now and find more faults with Ian Morgan now. But the fact is that this team has been struggling. I mean, and I'll tell you, it's not. We've talked so much about the overseas players, and Andre Russell has been a disappointment, terrible disappointment, in fact. And so has Pat Cummins, who soldiered on but is not taking wickets, which is what his job is. And he's not. So Lockie Ferguson has been one kind of solace from the overseas point of view. But having said that, it's not that the Indian players, at least in the batting, have redeemed themselves. Not Dinesh Karthik, not Rahul Tripathi except for one knock. And most disappointingly for someone like me, because I really thought he's a very fine player, Nitish Rana. He just doesn't seem to get past 18-20 runs, if that many. And that's hurting them very badly. So Shubman Gill's strike rate, one can say this, that and the other, but he's still leading the run aggregate. Ian Morgan is trying his best, and he's actually a strong finisher, and he's left trying to resurrect the innings every time. When you're 20 for 4 or 30 for 5, you can't have a finisher in the middle batting in the 5th or 6th over, because then his job is not to finish. His job is to resurrect the innings, rescue the team. So that's what their problem has been. And it's also undermined, I think, the performance of some of the bowlers. I'm not talking of Pat Cummins, of Shivam Mavi, Nagar Koti, Varun Chakravarti. These guys have actually been doing quite well. But they were never the spearheads. They were the support bowlers to Pat Cummins and Russell and Sunil Narayan. Now, Sunil Narayan, unfortunate that he was called for the suspect action. But, after that, they haven't been choosing him. For some strange reason, I can't understand why. They kept persisting with Andre Russell. I think in this match, Narayan or Russell has to come back, and I think it should be Narayan, because he's also scored more runs than Russell. Pat Cummins has scored more runs than Russell. So Russell has been in many ways at the core of Kolkata's misery, because he has otherwise in previous seasons been winning matches, at least 2 or 3 of them in a season, off his own bat, which has not happened. Now mathematically they've got a chance. But like we speak about, Delhi is also a very powerful team. Norke is back, and Rabada, and he made, in my opinion, the best fast bowling pair in the tournament. Then they've got Ashwin, they've got Akshar Patel. It's a formidable bowling lineup. They've got Shikhar Dhawan, who's made consecutive hundreds. They've got Shreyas Iyer, who's approaching 400 runs in the tournament. So it's a very powerful team, and I don't see how they can get the measure of Kolkata can get the measure of Delhi unless Narayan clicks big time, unless Pat Cummins takes wickets, unless Morgan gets a chance to finish the innings, not rescue it. So many ifs and buts, many imponderables, but that's how it is. So my picks quickly for Delhi: Ashwin and Rabada I always pick, and Shikhar Dhawan 3. So Shikhar Dhawan obviously has been in fabulous form and almost impossible to contain once he gets going. And from Kolkata, I'll pick Lockie Ferguson. You can't ignore him now. Ian Morgan, for the responsibility that he has, and if he gets a chance to finish, he can be very good. And I would pick actually. I hope they pick Sunil Narayan for this match, and then I would pick him as my third choice.
Thank you so much, Ayaz. Over to the Delhiite, Mandira. Your thoughts and your player picks.
Delhiite, of course. I'll give you my lowdown in Delhi in just a bit. Just starting with Calcutta, and not necessarily to rub salt in your wounds, but I think that thrashing against Bangalore showed a lot of glaring holes in the side, and I think most of them were in the department of strategy. Dinesh Karthik gave up the captaincy to Morgan to say, okay, I want to focus on my batting. So wo to chalo tum kar lo bhai, apni batting pe focus. But Morgan, the way he played against Bangalore, when you're defending a score like 84, why are you not playing Lockie Ferguson in the power play? Just don't understand that. Like Ayaz mentioned, Sunil Narayan has been now cleared to play. Why is he not in your playing 11? And I think his going was it's kind of broken their momentum a bit. We've seen sparks of brilliance, whether it's Shivam Mavi, whether it's Nagarkoti, but we haven't seen that all-round consistent, this is the way, this is the plan, this is how we're going to play according to plan, and everybody will execute according to plan. They may have plans, but the execution is not up to scratch. And definitely, after the way Lockie Ferguson has performed in the match against Hyderabad, I mean, it doesn't take rocket science for people like even me to say, but why are you not using him more? I don't understand. So I think that strategically Ian Morgan has a bit to reflect, and I'm sure he has done all the reflecting he has to, because as you mentioned at the start of this conversation, Kolkata needs to win this match to stay in the reckoning. As far as Delhi is concerned, I think if I have to really look at this, they've obviously come back with a lot of lessons learned that he resulted. As far as Prithvi Shaw is concerned, he continues to be a bit of a weak link in an otherwise very, very strong side. His technique has been faulted. His form, of course, it doesn't take rocket science to see that he's had 4 or 5 low scores now, and he needs to start performing with the bat because he's too much of an owner, of course, and Shikhar Dhawan, who has taken the responsibility beautifully. 2 back-to-back runs, I think it's fantastic, and he's a very, very, a strong side. Shreyas Iyer, all praise for this man. He's a young lad who's led a lot of experienced players and led really well. Of course, he has the backing of Vicky Ponting, and you can kind of see that in the way that it's played. So I don't think the hiccups are that troublesome for them in what they've seen in their losses so far. I think it's only onwards and upwards here. And like Ayaz mentioned, and I totally concur, they have the best fast bowling pair. So all-rounded, whether it's the opening pair, whether it's the opening stand, whether it's the middle order, whether it's the lower order, right up there, etc. They're a very, very well-rounded side. The bowling attack is fierce. I think Akshar Patel should start to play even more of a role than he already has as the tournament wears on towards its final stages. My 3 pick for Delhi would be Prithvi Shaw, just to keep an eye out to whether he manages to reverse his form a bit. Definitely Shikhar Dhawan. Let's see if he can make it third time lucky and get us another done. And third would be Akshar Patel. I think there's just more and more for him to do, especially trouble a slightly diffident Kolkata side at this point in time, which needs to score right at the start, and they'll also be having problems with their openers. Shubman Gill, I've been saying it for the past 2 or 3 matches, and it's not just the foreigners, even the Indians need to do their part, and I think Shubman Gill is one I'm looking out for. Ian Morgan as a captain, more than anything else. Yes, he's a finisher, but if you get Sunil Narayan, he's also a very, very capable finisher, outside of the fact that he can take wickets very, very effectively. And Lockie Ferguson, I hope to play him right and play him intelligently to make sure that they optimize his 4 overs and get as many wickets as they want, because that's what they really do.
Thank you so much, Mandira. Ayaz, Kolkata certainly with more to lose than Delhi going into this one. So do you see them causing an upset? Do you think that's going to spur them on?
Well, look, an upset is always a possibility in T20 cricket. So, you can't write off any team. And also remember that Delhi are coming on the back of a defeat into this match. But then they didn't have Nortje bowling in that match. He was rested. So, little below full strength. However, they've lost and come. And as we discussed about Mumbai and Chennai, Chennai have so virtually nothing to lose and everything to gain. Kolkata is, pretty much a similar position, And when you're not that burdened, you can jolly well cause an upset. When you look at all these 8 teams on paper, there's not much to choose. Yes, Mumbai might appear better on paper, but not by like many miles. Delhi have actually shown themselves to be very good on paper, on the field. But on paper, Punjab is very strong. So is Chennai, technically. I mean, apart from the age factor. And so too is Kolkata. So anything can happen. But the way things have been moving in this tournament, yes, Delhi, I would pick Delhi.
Mandira, you as well?
Do you need to ask? Delhi.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mandira. Thank you so much, Ayaz. Look, Kolkata's recent performances have certainly been inconsistent, but what better time for them to actually make amends than during this very auspicious occasion of Durga Puja. A very happy Durga Puja to all our viewers from everyone here at the One Play Sports family. Enjoy the festivities and continue enjoying the content that we deliver to you on our One Play Sports networks. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and cheers.